Welcome to I Am Audible. Before I begin on today's book, please click on the subscribe button, and also press the notification bell for any new updates, added chapters, or just another new book or stories to be heard. Welcome back as we continue on with our book reading of I Am is Inside Out. In today's chapter 12, it is about when you find yourself feeling discontent with those who are discontented. It's a sign that you have the power to rise above negativity. So, let's begin. He criticized Eden's teaching methods, claiming they couldn't unite fairies effectively. He believed that fairies learning about each other's goals and strategies would undermine the elite's divide-and-conquer approach, which thrived on secrecy. The elites valued silence, even punishing those who breached confidentiality. When I inquired about their education system, the elites boasted of exclusive schools for their wealthy families. Children were taught that they were the elite class and trained to manage, use, and create rules to maintain power. They were encouraged to collaborate to control people and systems, focusing on system optimization and reaping benefits. This interconnected elite education system often led graduates into government roles to sustain their dominance. I noticed similarities between the educational systems of the Soarers in Eden and the elite schools. Both systems were organized around targeting specific abilities and thinking styles, with grades serving as rewards for good performance. Those with higher grades gained more respect and better opportunities, leaving behind those who struggled. This system effectively conditioned students to serve the elites. I expressed my dissatisfaction, arguing that not everyone learns or performs well in the same way. I shared my personal experience of uneven growth and the importance of compassionate teaching when acquiring new skills. In contrast, the organized elite system labeled individuals as slow, incompetent, or misfits if they couldn't meet assigned tasks in the allotted time, which I saw as unjust. He agreed with my assessment, acknowledging that those who couldn't conform to their system were stigmatized. He defended this approach, claiming it was necessary to identify those who didn't fit into their system. I supported individuals with a sense of justice and different learning styles, asserting that many people couldn't support concepts and behaviors they deemed unfair or unjust. By categorizing them as undesirables, they were denied future opportunities, which I found to be a troubling consequence. I challenged the elite's rigid educational system, highlighting its flaws in stifling fairness and independence. Architake responded firmly, suggesting that morally strong fairies could pose a danger to the colony nation. He proposed separating and mistreating them, even hiding them away to prevent them from revealing inconvenient truths. He emphasized the need to keep such individuals apart to maintain control. Leaning forward, he warned, their disadvantages may lead to illegal acts for survival, giving us a reason to isolate them. We're so dedicated to our way of life that we'd spend more to socially isolate them than to provide a decent life. I expressed my disbelief, to which Architake replied, "It makes sense. Others would want the same if we rewarded some. Conscience-driven individuals would gain power and divert attention from the struggles in our society, potentially costing more. We're better off keeping them hidden and waiting for them to lose hope." Carefully, I questioned their judgment of fairies as mentally slow or inadequate, suggesting that they were assessing intelligence and skills by their own criteria. I argued that these individuals often found joy in life's little things and displayed remarkable powers that should be cherished in our world. Architake reassured, "They aren't a threat to us. We provide for those with minor needs as a display of our society's compassion. We value kindness and openly exhibit it. It's also in our best interests." His words emphasized the system's strength, making escape attempts seem futile. I countered, planning one's development based on a predefined period still seems inefficient. You risk missing out on talents that need more time to grow. What about those with gradual progress? Sluggishness doesn't always indicate inferior worth. Architake acknowledged, they have a spiritual purpose managed by the sacred Eden legend orders and myths. We don't interfere with spiritual orders due to their significant societal impact. I pressed further, what if someone isn't satisfied with skills preparing them for servitude? Some may choose to go solo, pursue higher education, or start businesses, Architake bragged. Our system favors currency movers like me, ensuring we profit. He grew more confident in the system's effectiveness, ignoring potential long-term inequalities favoring the elite. This imbalance could hinder others from launching successful enterprises, limiting fairies to roles serving the elite's needs. Such a society didn't align with the creator's intentions for Fairykind. Architake attempted to impress me with elaborate division plans and cast doubt on the counting house token system, displaying a dangerous sense of pride in their divisive views. I raised my hand and questioned, aren't the colony nations ever expanding profit-taking schemes causing imbalances, ultimately leading to a scenario where only a select few have complete control, while the rest serve them? Doesn't the increasing competitiveness among the population raise concerns about potential discontent? To maintain divisions and prevent unity in the face of these imbalances, he explained, we promote competition even within our legend orders, emphasizing that knowledge and power should be reserved for a small group of elite legend keepers to preserve our order's identity and goals. By contributing to our order, you might become an ite and eventually reach the position of plenitude elite. Even if suggested otherwise, I politely disagree with the idea of concentrating advantages and power in the hands of a few individuals. I reiterated my belief in being a small part of the greater Fairykind and serving the Creator and all of creation to the best of my ability. Architake appreciated my response, acknowledging that it conveyed humility and discouraged individuals from reaching beyond their assigned roles. He encouraged me to continue my training and offered a contract with a percentage of our business venture's earnings. I asked for time to consider it, prompting him to offer a larger percentage and advise me to keep the contract for future use. I eventually signed the contract, keeping it hidden for protection, and inquired about how Architake managed to unite a divided population for major colony nation projects. In summary, Architake tried to involve me in his plans, emphasizing the importance of division to maintain power, while I held firm in my belief in unity and love for all of creation. We ensure their need to unite fosters pride connections in our colony nation, strengthening their identity as citizens. Architake nodded in agreement, emphasizing that we honor and recognize those who dedicate themselves to defending our country, even at the risk of their lives. Many citizens are deeply committed to our colony nation, supporting our nationalism even when we're wrong. However, Architake continued speaking, seemingly unaware of the troubling implications of his duty devotion statement. As we expand our influence into other lands, promoting dedicated colony nation defenders has become crucial. The success of our division of power, a model of fairy exploitation, has inspired foreign colonies to adopt similar policies, potentially threatening our interests. The ruling class worries about these new powers tilting the balance in our favor. Our fairies have been convinced that the ideals, practices, and self-determination of other countries represent a danger that must be resisted, even at the risk of their lives. Realizing that other fairy colonies were adopting these harsh practices, I couldn't help but twitch with discomfort, adding to the strain I was already feeling. Architake appeared pleased with my unease and allowed a smile to form. Fortunately, we're wealthy and powerful enough to expand our influence with little opposition. We persuade and reward leaders who help us capture and defend countries with ambitions that may compete with ours. We ensure the benefits we offer create dependency that we can exploit. The elites and our government plan meticulously, never providing benefits that could make others too strong to control. Once again, I was shocked into silence. He pointed to my writing supplies, saying, "Pay attention if you want to achieve wealth and power like us." Your mindset already leans towards profit-driven decisions. In an attempt to steer the conversation and eventually express my own perspective, I smiled politely. But what if these other nations are content, self-sufficient, and uninterested in what you have to offer? Maybe they prefer a different, more peaceful approach to shaping their future instead of coercion and demands. Architake chuckled at my suggestion. It seemed they had a different, more intuitive grasp of reality and time. All we needed to do was disrupt their natural growth and force them to adapt for opportunities to benefit us. We could introduce perceived threats and harm through various means, even masking disruptions as coming from other colonies we wish to weaken or by inciting conflicts that harm both sides. To ensure gains no matter the outcome, we often covertly supported all parties involved. My achievements and those of my legend order demonstrated the superiority of our planning and strategy over the simplistic methods of divine harmony. My jaw dropped in surprise. He admitted that many elites aren't constrained by notions of right and wrong. Our loyalty and concerns are focused solely on seizing opportunities wherever they arise. With a dreamy expression, he leaned back and clasped his hands behind his head, envisioning a world order controlled by a select few. His revelations about the theft and exploitation integral to elite and colony nation activities left me deeply disturbed. Architake's determination to manipulate his fairy citizens into valuing blind loyalty for the expansion and defense of a nation engaged in such schemes greatly troubled me. He observed raindrops splashing on our ceiling's colorful skylight with a self-satisfied tone. Our influence will eventually expand, diminishing individual and public power on a global fairy scale. I began to understand why his ambitions for user-taker dominance weighed heavily on him. He envisioned his influence extending to the entire world. A dense cloud of unresolved thoughts formed from my inner turmoil, momentarily concealing inner fairies' stress signals and almost lulling me into a false sense of inner peace. His arrogance made me aware of my diminishing influence as an elite, signaling the need for a more assertive strategy. But an inner voice interrupted, warning me of the danger. Pause and reconsider tomorrow when you're refreshed, it could yield a better opportunity. Well, that is it for today's reading. Click on the like button if you enjoyed listening to I Am Is Inside Out. If you want to continue to the next episode, just click the subscribe button below or look in the description for the next chapter is available. And I hope to see you soon.